Hello, and welcome to this week's look at the world of James Bond through the eyes of the social media. And we are here, I'm here in the UK, and in the Swedish branch office is Bonita. A very good evening to you.
Hi,
Live long and prosper. How are you?
I'm fine. It's been an interesting couple of days.
Yes, it has been an interesting couple of days. I will accept that. It's been, well, if you're a fan of space, it's been terribly exciting. If you're a fan of science fact, you're not so happy, I would have thought. Science fiction, massive quantities of it, left, right, and centre. If they ever make a movie out of this, nobody will believe a word of it. You know this. It's the most extraordinary thing. We talk, of course, of Blue Origin. Blue Origin, who incidentally is running at Fontwell tomorrow afternoon, currently 10 to 1.
It was
Um,
reported that it cost 11 million, so 11 million for 11 minutes.
yep, yep, 11 minutes. And there was Gail King, right? That's the lady's name. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey's
I
best
think so.
friend.
Yep.
Oprah's best friend in the whole world. Oprah got terribly emotional when she took off, like she was never going to see her again. Which, all right, it's an emotional moment. I understand this. However, there is a lovely interview which I'd like to share with you right
I,
now.
I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride. We actually duplicated the route that Alan Shepard did. That's why this particular capsule is called the New Shepard. We duplicated that route. No one said he took that ride. Yeah. It's always referred to as a flight or a journey. So I feel that that's a little disrespectful to what the mission was and what the work that Blue Origin does.
So there, you heard her very clearly say space. I mean, have you been? Have you been to space? Well, well, no, girl, because we can't afford it. We can barely afford blueberries. Have you seen how expensive they are at the moment? Um,
Strangely, I picked up some today and I put them back
exactly. I'm a
because it was just,
big fan of a bit of fruit when it's available, and all of a sudden you go, really? How much for that? Not a chance. So the likelihood of us going to space, I think, is fairly small. There is, of course, the
that
other.
means talking to Katy Perry, that means we won't feel the love.
We won't feel the love. And on the subject of Katy Perry, I think we should hear from her too, because she has words of wisdom, having been 11 minutes away from the surface. Here she is.
Katie.
Of the group.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Feeler of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
An astronaut. Congratulations. Thank you, she said.
Well, in her defense, we did look up Ham the monkey, and I guess he's an astronaut,
Well,
and the dog,
yeah, okay.
uh,
I'm prepared to accept that. And then
another
there was the
astronaut.
squirrel monkey. The
Yep, it
squirrel monkey?
is the one in Hangover. Is that a squirrel monkey?
Do you know, I think it might be. That's very good. Miss Baker was the squirrel monkey who we refer to, who in 1959 became, along with female Rhesus macabre, Abel, one of the first two animals launched into space by the United States who safely returned to Earth.
Yeah, he doesn't want to save the planet. He doesn't want to save us. He just wants to take his friends, find another planet, and shoot off.
Um, yeah, it's a thought,
This is
isn't
what
it?
I'm thinking.
It's a thought.
So,
Um, so maybe there is a sort of Drax thing where he's gonna create a space station in space for a the special people, those elite that will be cargoed out Philip Latchford will be absolutely glued to this. The idea that this could actually happen. I mean, he's probably all his Christmases come at once. The possibility that Bezos could decide, I'm going to set, like the way that Stromberg said, under the sea. He hadn't thought that one through, though, really, had he? But under the sea, that's the answer. Well, Bezos, Drax, in space, it's the future.
It's weird to wake up. If you were Jeff and you wake up in the morning and you go, you know what? I think I want to be a Bond villain. Because I can't see how he can not see himself as a Bond villain.
He sees himself
he's
as James
definitely
Bond.
not Bond.
Every time he wakes up, as every man does, he's a bald man. He's never woken up and gone, oh my word, I am so Blofeld today. This is just the greatest day of my life. I'm going to take tobogganing lessons, and I'm going to get a whole stable of girls around me, and they are going to go off and they're going to commit heinous crimes all around the world, and then come back, when they hear my voice, that'll be the key word for the whole thing. No, he's never done that. He and every man here, and men listening, watching, you can confirm this in the comments below or on the social medias. When you wake up every morning, if you're a dedicated Bond fan, you've seen a Bond movie the night before, whatever it was. I used to do the same thing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was rife. I developed, let me tell you, I'm speaking, there's only you and me here. We'll just talk about this between the two of us, right? When I was a child, I remember doing this like it was yesterday. Thunderball was on, or there was a Bond season, happened on a Sunday night, and I would be at school Monday morning. The movie I saw the Sunday night would then decide what type of walk, how I would act during the first couple of days, because I would want to take on that persona. I've often wanted to do this as I may even do it as a video, but each Bond has a very different walk, and their walk certainly dictates their demeanor and their personality.
And you had a little bit of Harry Potter news, which is kind of links us back to last episode when we thought that the Spanish director who was talking in France that got translated into English might have been talking about Harry Potter and not Bond. Yes.
So there's a number of things here. We touched on Dev Patel there for a moment. And what, of course, if you're in the UK, or if maybe you've seen this news if you're elsewhere in the world, but there is to be a new Harry Potter series. And they have the characters. Nick Frost, I think, is playing Hagrid, and everybody's going, oh my God.
That's a good one.
I mean, nobody has any issues with these characters at all. But the fact that they have cast a black actor in the role of Snape. Now, there are, as we've talked about this at length in the past, you cannot have a black actor playing James Bond because it messes about with the tradition and the whole recipe and the build-up and the DNA build-up of that character.
But then if you look at Doctor Who, they always put up the thing that he's a Time Lord, and when he remorphs, he can remorph into anything.
Of course he can.
So
it's science fiction.
There it is.
Yeah.
In front of you. Doctor Who can be anything and anyone.
Yeah.
And when I say anything, he could be, he could be a hamster.
It could be, exactly. It could be an animal. It could be, it doesn't matter. He was a woman. He was a man, a young man, an old man. It makes no difference. And of course, ultimately at the moment, he's a black actor. He's a black man, right? So that's okay, because he's a Time Lord and it's science fiction. You can do whatever you want. That door is open. But when you start using characters that are, they are very structured, and you can't start moving the goalposts, because otherwise there will be backlash, as we've just seen. And I thought that was interesting to bring that point up, because that Harry Potter thing is either going to be a huge success or a massive flop. It's one or the other. I don't think there's going to be a grey area there. I think it'll be one way or the other. But it'll be interesting to find out what, and to see if Alfonso Cuarón is indeed involved. And is he going to do what he says he is, revisit and do it his way? Well, right. Well, in that case, if there is anything else that you would like to comment, do so by contacting us on all the social medias. And yes, we're on YouTube now. No, we weren't. We were last week. But it means that it's been so long since I've created a YouTube channel that I've forgotten that we're only allowed 15-minute bursts. So there will be a 15-minute burst of this particular podcast, which hopefully will direct you back to the podcast so you can listen in full. And if you like that, like, subscribe, do all the usual bits and pieces, hit the bell for notifications. And we'll try and put out a bit more content on there, even if it's just the two of us doing the head-to-head thing. So we'll do some more of those bits and pieces. And that's about the size of it, really, for now. If you'd like to get in touch, do so. And until next time, it's bye for now.
And it's bye for me.